Welcome back, guys. We are playing Crash Bandicoot again, the next episode.
Oh my god.
Episode 2.
A real grind. Let's get to it.
We're in the hazardous wastes in 2084.
I just noticed something there. Is that a new feature they've added with the unlockable skins?
Yeah. You could never customize it back in the day.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Waiting for the Crash season pass to come out.
If anyone watching is here, they're probably here from the first episode we put out of Crash. So welcome back.
Thank you for joining us again.
We're staying on stream with Andrew as he plays and shows us how Crash Bandicoot is meant to be played. That's why you're all here as well, I assume.
Yeah, pure talent. Retro Tunnel.
So we need the other masks.
My skills are on display.
So what's her name? We got Coco.
We got Coco, yep.
Crash being just a simp on the ground there.
And
Lanny Lolly. Oh god. Engine. What are these names? I like Coco as a name. These other ones are a bit weird.
Sean. Come on, man.
Engine?
Yeah, it's like, meant to be engine. It's like, look at the features of the character.
I honestly didn't see the name, and when Sean said it, I honestly thought he was just saying engine. And he wasn't. He was just saying engine. I don't know how you didn't pick up on it.
Well,
okay, guys. So, I'm wearing Lenny Lolly there, and I have to switch by the looks of it.
Going through different times. That's cool.
Okay. So we need to make sure I don't... Oh, my... guys, that's just getting to me a little bit. All right.
I just got the name. I got the play on words with the name.
What?
So it's about time is like saying it's about time it's here, but it's also saying the game it is about time.
You told me off not getting engine and you didn't get that. I knew it was a time travel game by the title from the start.
I thought it was a comment on how long it's been or something. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with this stuff. I only just realised that we had a split in time right now.
Alright, hey, do you reckon I can long jump that onto those boxes?
I don't know, maybe.
Let's give it a go.
It's
So do you have to change it yourself? Why is it stuck?
Yeah, I have to change it.
Oh.
Alright.
Yeah, well, It's About Time is a good name for this because we're basically time traveling with how much we've got a delay of watching Andrew play.
Oh, 100%.
It's a couple of seconds, but the feels of it.
Yeah, I hear you say, and then I'm waiting for what's
Andrew's living in the future.
Ooh, okay.
This game is so pretty. I like this a lot.
It's a lovely aesthetic.
It's keeping in theme with the regular Crash aesthetic as well. It hasn't gone too far away from the OG style, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Okay.
So what I heard, I heard there was apparently mostly positive reviews. I think Metacritic's already scored this a 90.
Oh wow! Okay.
Oh no!
Which is pretty cool. But I've heard I think the one negative review I heard was from
Polygon
gaming website, and they said it was too retro-y. But their criticism, I didn't read the review, but the criticism, based on the comments and what they said in the tweet, their criticism is that it's too hard.
But it should be hard. It's a Crash game.
Yeah.
You guys played?
There's almost a missing element to games that old games had. Old games used it as a crutch, which I guess is why modern games don't use it anymore. It's to make a game harder so that people play it for longer, and it felt more of an achievement for beating it. And that's how your games lasted as long as they did, because it was just...
That could go the other way though. If a game's too hard, people might not play it, and I think that's the main reason for why people...
Yeah, it's got to be really balanced. There are plenty of games that were just too hard because they were broken and unbalanced, and people just obviously didn't become popular, versus games that did.
Gaming's interesting now because a lot of the time gaming was just made for gameplay, but now games are made to tell certain stories that are a bit more interactive, and it's all gameplay related, but there's a lot more different focuses now, which I think is really cool. Some games are just meant to be art form sort of thing. You play it and it's just beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool how the medium's evolved. Like, there was a game, something Edith Finch. I had to do a report on that game for my game writing unit in uni. Yeah, that game's beautiful.
I'm pretty sure I have that game.
But it's like, you don't really get a lot of choice of where to go, though. It's just like, sort of like run through the game sort of thing.
Is it called Edith Finch, or is it called like the something of Edith Finch?
I think it's What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It just came to my head as you said it. But yeah, no, games are cool. I won't go past a good game. I remember speaking of that game writing, you know, had a group assignment with some guy, and this is during a period of my life where I was sort of getting into more creative stuff, and I had trouble relinquishing creative control and stuff. And I was working with this guy, and he had like a full idea before the assignment even started, and he's coming to me, he's like, "Oh, we'll do this." I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool, whatever." It was growth, and and yeah, by the end of it, like, I didn't think it was that bad. It was like, we did like a story game. I did like the different decisions you make and where you could end up and stuff, and we barely passed.
Oh.
I'm not saying I'm like good, like I always do well at uni, but like I never do that poorly, especially on creative things. But like, by the end of it, I'm not saying it was his fault, because I had just as much input as well. But by the end of it, it was just like the guy just hated it. I was like, why? Wasn't that horrible? Like, he had a grudge against it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh.
Guys, this is my last life here.
Uni, I remember I started off, I went through so many different phases with my approach and appreciation of uni towards, because I did a creative one as well, and it was weird because doing anything creatively is really hard to judge, but also really hard to take criticism on. It's like
very much like that for a long time.
It's like when I first started, I had no expectations or ideas of how it was or wasn't supposed to go. I remember my first run-in with something I thought was unfair was some tutor. It wasn't even a teacher or a lecturer or anything. It was a tutor, so someone probably around the same age as me, if not maybe a year or two older. He was definitely in his 20s. And so on what authority did this guy have to really mark me up or down, other than, you know, he got good marks in his, so he's got like a more analytical way of kind of approaching the subject matter and going, okay, well, this is what you're trying to do, and this is what failed in your attempt to do so. Like, I would have accepted that, but it was like a media. So it was like basically media year 1 class.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It really wasn't even supposed to be hard. And so we got told to do a speech, and I was supposed to be on stereotypes, or like different things in the media, and one of them was stereotypes in the media. And so as a group project, we're supposed to each talk about a different topic about, you know, on this list. And so I chose stereotypes. And it just said, you know, discuss stereotypes and how it's portrayed in the media, and how it affects things and all of that. And I think what it was just trying to get people to do was have an appreciation of how it can have a negative impact.
Just quickly, Andrew, that was horrible.
Oh, I'm struggling, mate.
But it didn't specify that. It was like it was supposed to be assumed that. And so all I saw was, okay, talk about how stereotypes are portrayed in the media, how it affects things, and I did all that. I took a very psychological approach for it. I just went with, okay, well, as humans, we stereotype based on this. There's these psychological studies that kind of say this is why we do it in the first place. I thought starting from base 1, like, you know, why does stereotypes exist at all, let alone in the media? And then how does that then go into the media. And I did not ever say it was good. I never said it was needed. I just said, why does it exist at all? And I think he took it as like I was trying to defend stereotyping, which I wasn't. And he ripped into me and gave me such a low mark. And I was like, who are you to do this? It's like a 20-something-year-old just going at me saying, yeah, you get like a C. You did all this wrong.
There.
And I was just like, I was so shocked. I didn't understand because I was young. This is like starting out. And so I was so confused as to why, like even before that, I did about 1.5 years of a different study that wasn't a creative field. And it was very mathematical, very, it was like engineering and programming and stuff. And I was like very good at it. So to go to a creative field and then just get told on very basic speech that I thought I prepared well for, that I was just shit. I was just like, I don't get it. And it wasn't until years later that I realized it was someone's opinion affecting my grade. I was like, oh. And
that's the problem with marking creative things, is that a lot of individual biases get put in. And I'm not trying to discredit anyone who does mark in creative fields and stuff like that, because they do the best you can, sort of thing, and you work with what you get. And there is still criteria and a rubric you can follow to succeed. But a lot of it is like, if you can trigger people's sort of sensitivities, or people can like incorrectly read between the lines of things, sort of thing.
My girlfriend's mum is a high school teacher, and she was talking about rubrics and content creation for like study and stuff, and like where it comes from. And she's currently getting to actually get paid to make the curriculum for students.
Oh, that's sick.
And she was talking about it, and it seems like it's like really important. Something that gets skipped over a lot of the time is creating the rubric. It's like not only so that the students have a clear understanding of what is required and it can't be misinterpreted, but also the teachers, when they're marking, can't misinterpret it and say, well, I was expecting or wanting this, but technically they stuck to it. But if 3 different teachers can give 3 different marks for the same essay, then there's a problem.
Yeah, and that's 100% true, isn't it? I don't know, it's just the way it goes. Like I remember speaking creatively, like I was before I did my final bachelor's degree that I did, I was doing a creative industries degree, which was actually a very, very cool degree. It was in its first year. They were just testing it out, trying it out, and it was basically putting all these different kind of creatives together, like musicians, artists, writers, in like the one field, with like a focus of how to it was more like market your creativity and hone it in to work for the creative industry. And it was I thought it was a really cool degree, but I didn't feel like I was learning anything. Honestly, I felt like a lot of the time when I handed in something, I was just getting pats on the back, sort of thing, which, believe me, I freaking loved at the start. But like by the end, I'm like, I don't know if I've taken anything from this. Like,
nope.
I feel like a different person.
Oh mate,
when I started,
it's going downhill.
But that's just like one of those things. Like I remember once, sure, me and you have studied together.
We had a class together.
We had a writing class together, and
that was one of the things I was thinking about bringing up as well. That was
I wrote a story. It was such a stupid story, and looking back, it was very, very much lifted from Garfield. But I put my own personality and my own style into it. So my background is I'm a writer. Like I write stuff. I like to write, and I like to do it, make a living doing it creatively someday. Right now I do it like in a professional environment. But back then I was
plug your Insta?
Oh, no, it's so good. Maybe one day we'll see.
If anyone can find it, or make it
but yeah, I remember that class where I have a history of not spending a lot of time on my assignments, stuff like that, and it's served me well. I would not recommend it because you don't get the payoff that you probably are paying for when you study. So you probably should take the time, put the effort in, and get a proper education. But But yeah, I have a history of like leaving my assignments to the last second and getting away with it. But in this one assignment, I put a bit of time into it. I was like, trying my best and really working hard on it, and I got a mark back.
Is this the story?
Yeah, this is the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't like looking back, like now, like how I write now. It probably wasn't as good as some of the stuff I write now. But for
hey,
then,
Andrew, before sorry, I'm just going to intro quickly because I keep seeing you fail. Andrew, before you do this, are you able to jump on the boxes without them exploding or no?
Yeah, it's just.
I'll continue my story in 2 seconds, guys. Give me 1 second. Keep you going.
How are you supposed to get that one up top?
I need to, I think, jump on when I first spawn, grab, hold circle, and then do the extra big double jump, and I should be able to hit that.
Yeah, that's
the thing is. I already missed a box earlier on the slide.
So you're not worried about it, okay?
So I can't get the gem anyway. But
just kept seeing that get missed. I'm like, are you trying to get it or?
I am trying. It's just that's not going well.
Okay.
I'm struggling just to my brain is not cooperating with me. I'm like, okay, I need to do this, and I pressed the wrong button. No. Okay, we're okay. Because obviously I want to redo these levels where I actually get all the boxes, get the gems, do some time trials. But then I'm here just listening to your stories, and I'm here just trying to focus. I'm like, why is this so difficult? So I'm here just okay, X is the jump, and switch. Because a lot of these they've introduced which weren't old in the old games. So I'm just adjusting to it myself. I missed the box.
I'm back, fellas, and I just realised I took my headset off and my laptop fan is blowing out something fierce, so I really hope that that's not being picked up. I'm sitting way back now, so I can't hear it.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Story time. You were saying you just spent time on this assignment.
Yes, yeah, so I spent time on this assignment, and I'm not trying to say, how dare this guy give me a bad mark, I don't deserve a bad mark. But I think it sort of reinforced a crappy idea I had about not putting effort into work. Because I put a lot of effort into this one. I actually did a few drafts of it, shared it with a lot of my friends to see what they thought. I even did a class workshop, and it was generally well received, except by some of the students who were a little bit more self-important than thing. And I got my mark back, and I got a shocker. It was just so bad, and I'm like, wow, I could not believe this. And you could tell because I wrote a funny story. It was not meant to be a serious a literature story talking about the human condition or anything like that. It was just a story about a man and his cat, and the cat was a jerk. Similar now, I realized, to Garfield, but it was still my characters had their own personalities and stuff like that. Anyway, I got a bad mark, and then I wrote something in a similar vein in my next course that I was in, and a different unit sort of thing, and I got top marks for it. So not the same. I didn't take the same story, but it was in a similar sort of field. And I got top marks. Yeah, it was a funny story.
I've got a very similar story for the exact same class we were both in.
I know what you're gonna say. It was the same assessment task as well.
Yeah, well, I think I did it the reverse way around with the two tasks, but I had a story that I put in, and it wasn't a comedy, but it was supposed to be, it was kind of like teen fiction. It was not something that's supposed to be super high-end writing, that, only adults are even going to be able to comprehend. It was filled with a bunch of kind of cliches in ways of writing, I suppose, and it was a comical element to how the characters interacted. It wasn't, looking back on it, wasn't my best piece of work, but it wasn't designed to be, like you said, super high end, thinking about the human condition or anything. It was just a bit of fun. And I got a bad mark on that, and that was the one I spent a lot of time on.
Yeah. I know what you're gonna say.
Not just for the what the story was, but even the way I wrote, which was what I was proudest of. The actual content, it wasn't super amazing. I could imagine getting a bad mark for that, but the style of writing I enjoyed because it was just a bit of fun and it was well written. Yeah. And he ripped into me for that because he's just like, oh, it's a bit, it's a bit cliche. It's a bit, like you're not trying to do anything different. I'm like, I'm not trying to do anything different. I like this. It's funny.
Yeah, and that's something that they really drive home in writing degrees, and I understand why, because it's a similar thing. Like, no one likes, like genre writing is looked down upon in writing, like, because it's considered like, I can see why to a certain degree, because a lot of the creativity is done for you when you follow tropes that are already in place.
We should specify as well, this was a short story fiction writing class.
Yes, it was. Yeah. But like a lot of that's why in like the Oscars and stuff like that, genre films, like you never see a superhero film winning an Oscar like for best film sort of thing. Like I'm sure you will someday, but it's because it's like it's so tropey and it follows all these set conditions that all these films follow, that it doesn't make it that unique. And I like films that are completely their own thing. But yeah, I think that's what he followed in writing, is that he didn't like, because it was a genre, he just straight up said, no, I don't like this, without giving it a second thought.
Yeah. Well, onto the bit that I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. The one mark I got I got a good mark on was another short story, fiction, and I literally based it on a conversation I had that morning.
Did you have that conversation with Andrew?
I think I had a conversation with Andrew. We were at your house. We were just having a D&M session in the morning, and I turned it into a story between two characters sitting, having the same conversation over different areas. Like, started with them talking about it at a restaurant. They went out to have a chat, and then went home, and some of the conversation happened over the phone, and then the rest of the conversation happened when he got home, and that was just him thinking about what was happening in the conversation. That was the entire story. I thought, what BS is this?
And it was the same assignment I got the crap mark on as well.
And I got a good mark.
And I was like, I put effort, Sean didn't. Moral of the story is, don't put in effort.
And on that note, guys, I think we need to call it episode.
Andrew's been quiet for ages.
I think he kind of gave up.
I haven't much to contribute.
He was struggling on that level.
Hey, all good.
But this was fun. I was enjoying watching and talking.
No, that was awesome. I can't wait to do this again.
If anyone wants to see more of this, hit the bell, like and subscribe, and comment below if you want to see more. We'll probably keep playing.
All right. See you guys later.
See yous.